Hello everyone, I'm Tyler and I'll be showing you how to do the Engine of Destruction mission on Brutal. We start off with a bit of a mini game. What you do here is you help Tychus get his way through the corridor to the Odin. Now the more Marines that you have surviving goes towards your actual mission. So the more resourceful you are in here, the more you'll have to use when the actual mission starts. Of course, the best you could hope for is 5 Marines and 2 medics, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you can build a bunker in the front of your base by the choke point, and that'll help you defend off some early pushes. Ever notice how your phone loves to ring at the most inconvenient time, like when you're doing a commentary for the internet, as everybody does? But now we're at the mission. I lost 2 Marines, not too bad. Well, may end up losing more. Nope, looks like I can I can take the brunt of that impact. And by impact, I of course mean Perdition turret. Here is where the fun begins. You want to make sure you get a really strong economy really fast. However, you want to make sure you don't lose the Odin. The first 2 base attacks are really the most important, because after that you'll have a fairly good economy and be able to pump out a whole bunch of units. From this point on in the campaign, with the exception of All-In, I kind of prefer a medevac, or not medevac, science vessel and battlecruiser combination. Also make sure to pick up these Vespin gas articles, or whatever you want to call them, little treasure chests, because one of the biggest hindrances towards the mid-game on this mission would be a Vespin gas. So you can get that out of the way and kind of help transition yourself into a better play. Maybe better play wasn't the right word, but a better overall standing. Now, once the Wraith knock out the battlecruisers, you want to make sure you put them on the offensive right away. The great thing is they can cloak, which means that nobody's going to be able to fire back in the first base. In the second base, you'll have to worry about a missile turret and a Raven. However, the first base has Marines, Marauders, and Barracks, so you can send them in right away. I recommend kind of doing a starport rush off the bat. You want to make sure you get at least 1 Banshee, and a couple Vikings wouldn't hurt to the second base, because the Raven will do quite a bit of, it'll create some problems. Personally, I think the most difficult part about this mission is the second base, and once you get through that, you'll be fine, you'll be completely set. Also make sure you're ready to expand to the second base, which will be in the top left corner of the mini-map. Once you do that, look at that for getting a relic, or not relic, but research thing. But once you knock out the second base, expand there, and you will be set. After that, it's just be cleaning up. So really, you're making the beginning of the mission more difficult than it needs to be. So the end of the mission. For those who are interested in the Loki kill, the build I go will allow you to easily take out the Loki. However, I don't go ahead and do it. I actually bypass it for whatever reason. Actually, I'm pretty sure I already have it. But with this plan, you'll be able to easily take it out without very much problems at all. Now, the hardest part about this mission, as I said before, is the beginning. If you find your Odin taking a lot of damage and you're not ready to, you don't have any way of healing up, a science vessel will help, and you can stack that on with the repair ability of a mule. You can call down a mule anywhere on the battlefield anytime you want, provided you're limited, of course, and you can go ahead and repair, which helps out a ton, especially in the second base push. So right about now, right when you finish up with the first base and you're clearing it out, I recommend start hoarding up energy. I also recommend putting 2 bunkers and a tank at your main base choke. With that, you'll definitely be able to hold it, and you won't have to worry about later on in the game. Once you get that established, you'll be completely fine. Also keep a good eye on your science vessels, because oftentimes you'll find one science vessel draining itself completely, while the other one just builds up a ton of energy. So if that ever happens to you, go ahead and take the one that's nearly empty, and just run it back 10 yards and then run it forward, and then you're set, you're golden. Right about now you want to be aiming towards the fusion core. At this point in the game, you're going to want it for the third kind of ramp push. That'll be to the northeast of your main base, and that will, it won't require a battlecruiser, but battlecruisers make it a ton easier, just because you can send them in right before the Odin, and they definitely have the hit points to take those shots. And if you go ahead and get the upgrade from the armory, the defense matrix, you'll be able to divert a ton of damage from the Odin to a battlecruiser. Or you can just use them for firepower, because they do a ton of damage. Now we see that I pulled 5 SCVs from the mineral line. Make sure to keep on pumping out SCVs because you don't want to starve yourself, of course. And I'm getting ready for the second base push. I have 4 Wraith, 2 Banshees, and they're all going to cloak up. Make sure when you send in the SCVs, you don't send Banshees on the base boost because splash damage is definitely ripping apart the very efficient. As I said before, you can call down a mule whenever you need, provided you have energy, and that'll definitely help repairing. SCVs and the science vessel repairing will stack on top of each other, so that's a very helpful thing. My Wraiths are very badly damaged, although they'll probably pull through, nothing can detect them, and they're doing alright. You can definitely pull them back and have the science vessel heal up on them, or you can take it kind of slow with the science vessel and only have that focus on the Odin just then. If you fail with the science vessel, okay, here we go. That definitely would explain why a lot of my units got hurt pretty badly. Make sure that you keep your Wraith in very good shape. You don't want to lose them early on because then you have to build Vikings, or you could build more Wraiths. But I'm not a big fan of them. They seem too much built upon the dimension of harassment. And so the way this mission goes, so you definitely want to go for a Viking if you're thinking anti-air. On just about any other mission, I'd say a Wraith definitely has potential. It has a possibility of working out very well. But for this mission, because it will just be a general base push here and there, you definitely want to get something that is cost-effective in a big army, and a Wraith just seems too flimsy for me to like it. But looking at the battle, it looks like I lost 5 SCVs, 1 Banshee, and 1 Wraith. And one of the big parts of that is I definitely made a big error by not having 2 of my science vessels with me when I did my push. So you could probably almost make that a perfect attack and not lose a unit if you play a little better than I. At this point, you definitely want to make sure that your refineries are refining maximum gas. In fact, I highly recommend expanding out here so you can go ahead and get the refineries, because you're going to want to start supporting battle cruisers. If you want the Loki achievement, the best way to do it is to rush them there with hard AA and hit really hard with the lot of bam, bam, bam. Because Loki, if you give it a few seconds to fight back, will do a ton of damage too. So you want to shut that fight down as quickly as you can with a bunch of bursts of damage. So really at this point, it's your choice. If you like what you're doing and you think that all you want to do is get through the mission, you're not interested in the Loki achievement, you have a lot of pathways to go about. You're not really focused into a Viking science vessel hybrid with several battle cruisers, really. You can go ahead and do whatever. You can build Goliath, Marines, Medics. All those are very reasonable things to add. And you could actually probably incorporate them to some degree with the Loki achievement. But if you're going for the Loki, I would definitely say make battle cruisers, make Vikings, and then have a few science vessels for support. If you get mineral heavy and you just find yourself with, let's say, 1,200 minerals and 200 gas, you can drop down 2 or 3 barracks and just pump out a pile of Marines for the Loki achievement, because that actually seems like a pretty good idea now that I think about it. So there you go. Just finished up on the fly. Now, as I mentioned earlier, 2 bunkers and a siege tank will pretty much repel any push you have, but if you build an extra bunker, when your original bunker goes down, you can run units straight to that bunker instead of having them fight other coastal in a while, which doesn't work out, as you can see here. So that's one nice little trick. Building an extra bunker and having nobody in it isn't always a bad idea. You can just use it for when your bunker goes down.